The Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King, brought to you by Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet, expect more from Supreme Automotive Group in Gonzales. Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lieber King.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
I'm Dane Peavy, head baseball coach at Benton High School.
Coach, thanks for joining me today in your busy teaching, coaching schedule.
It's teach a business class and then go out to baseball.
We don't want to say who you're playing today because we might not show it today, so you have a game today.
Sure.
Ranked anywhere from 3 in the state to 6 in the state, depending on what you look at, right?
Yes, sir. That seems to be the average of where we're at.
6 players signed on this team, Coach, or more?
8 actually.
8 total?
Yeah, we got 7 who have pen to paper, and then 1 who's committed who's supposed to sign in the spring. So, yeah, we've got 8.
One's going to Louisiana Tech?
One's going to Louisiana Tech. One's going to Northwestern. And we have another guy going to Louisiana Monroe. Yeah.
Not bad, Coach.
It's not bad. It's a testament to those guys' hard work, man. They've really put in the work to be, given that opportunity, and I think that they're going to take it and run with it when they get to that level.
Baseball is pretty strong here. I grew up in South Louisiana, but I always followed Todd Walker at Airline and some of the guys that have come out of this area. I know there's a few pitching in the majors right now from Bossier and Shreveport, but how strong is Shreveport baseball and Bossier baseball right now?
I think it's pretty strong. I think obviously a testament to the north end of the state. West Monroe's done a really good job over the past couple of years of doing some good things. Obviously winning a couple of state championships out of the last 4 years. Just overall North Louisiana baseball, I think gets a kind of I'm not going to say a bad rap, just maybe a rap to where they're not as competitive as South teams. At least that's what I've heard over my time coaching for the last 10 years, obviously. So, but we feel pretty confident that we have pretty good baseball up here.
I always see D1 guys coming out of Calvary and Captain Shreve and Benton and Airline. I mean, I've always seen it, but I guess there's some people's heads in the sand and they don't keep up with it.
Sure.
Even though I'm a football guy, I played baseball growing up, and I appreciate the game. How do you like the added scholarships kind of now with the bigger rosters in college baseball? And I always say NIL helps baseball pretty good.
Sure.
I'm not in agreement on football, but
I think overall it's a catch-22, obviously. I think the 34 scholarships that they give now is a great thing. But up until, I guess they're probably going to vote on it in April. But like like I said, they're going strictly 34, right? So whereas most D1, I guess, probably do more of a 40, 45 man roster with red shirts or gray shirts. You're kind of limited on what you can do, and you'll figure out, we'll figure out here in the next month or so about what they're going to do with that. But overall, it's a good and bad thing, I guess, so to speak, good and not so good. I am glad to see that baseball did get the extra paid assistant coach. That was much needed. Very glad to see, obviously, those guys get their due for full athletic scholarships. But, you got to take a little bit at the time. You can't have it all at once. And I think that we're on the right track.
it's good to see baseball college is getting strength coaches, their strength coach now.
Absolutely.
Remember when they were sharing a strength room?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like LSU's got their own strength facility.
Sure.
And they used to have to wait to the football team to finish.
Right.
But now they just
it's overall, it's headed in the right direction. I think that obviously the NIL has kind of set this up for everybody, and I think it's just it's going to do wonders for the game at that level. Looking forward to seeing how it transcends.
I got to ask you this because you're from Arkansas.
Sure.
What part of Arkansas, by the way?
I'm actually part of the southwest part of the state, with Texarkana. So
okay.
But nonetheless, we still, we're still Arkansans. So
When is the University of Arkansas head coach going to win a national championship? I feel so bad for him. You know, what was it, 3-4 years ago when that foul ball was dropped?
I'm going to give you an almost
And
say 7 years ago. It was 2018.
It feels like the other day.
Yeah, I was actually at that game with my dad. It was not. It wasn't a great ending, obviously. Coach Van Horn, you know, and I don't know Coach Van Horn personally. I've met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Coach Van Horn is an excellent baseball mind. He understands the game probably like no other. He's got well over 1,000 wins in his D1 collegiate career.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard for me to sit here and say that that guy hasn't been successful or hasn't.
Right.
You know, it's based on whether he has won a national championship or not.
I'm just pulling for him.
Sure, absolutely. You got to.
Feel bad for him from 7 years ago because it was there.
I certainly hope that he gets his due. I certainly hope that
Because,
he has an
I
opportunity.
mean, they're either preseason 2, 3, or 4 every year. He loses his whole ace pitchers every year.
Sure.
He finds hitters every year. I think the kid from Houghton exhausted his eligibility with last year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they always got 2 or 3 98 guys and a great closer. And I don't know how he's getting them. I mean, he's getting them from California, like LSU now, Arizona. He's getting them all over. But
Yeah, he does a really good job. You know, I mean, he's bred some of, you know, you look at Tony Vitello, he was Van Horn's understudy at Arkansas. You know,
Okay.
he was Arkansas's hitting coach for about 5 or 6 years, and you know, he's did a really good job there for us, and then moved on to Tennessee and has had some really good success there. So I really hope for his sake, for Van Horn's sake, that he does get him one before he gets out. So.
I do too. I'm pulling for him. I'm not an Arkansas fan, but I'm appreciative of
good baseball.
And his coaching ability and his love for the game. And I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, because, you know, he's been there he's just been right there close a few times. And, you know, I know he's beaten LSU a lot lately too. Because I think every year, I think it's the last 4 years, 5 years. I don't know if LSU's won the series against Arkansas.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
I mean, they've had.
I try and watch that one pretty close.
LSU's number in the series.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this year.
It's going to be a good one.
Chase Shores and all those guys they got going against Arkansas's guys.
LSU has a really good pitching staff, and would like to see what our offense does against that pitching staff.
Last question: what do you think of Derek Curriell at LSU, freshman?
He's a phenom, man.
California native.
He is a phenom. I will say this: that Jay Johnson does a wonderful job of recruiting the West Coast. Obviously, he's a West Coast guy.
San Diego area.
Yeah, but he is. If I had to say, him and Vitello are probably neck and neck in actual recruiting styles and how those guys they can get anybody all over the country that they want, obviously. Yeah. But he does a really good job of putting a good product on the field. And overall, you know, I've met him a couple of times too, and he's a really good dude. And some people will, you know, not be approachable, obviously at that level or whatever. But he's a really good coach and a really good dude.
You know, Coach, that SEC conference puts you in a nut house as a coach, huh?
Oh, man.
I mean, 1 to 10, like 7 of the 10 SEC.
Sure. So, you don't have to look any further than the preseason #1 team with Texas A&M, and they're already out of the polls in March. And I think that's the first time ever, you know. But that's not to say anything about Texas A&M. They have a really good team, obviously. It's just, man, it's a different level. It's a different level of baseball.
And they got studs like Jace LaChalette and third baseman's out, Gavin, for the year, but I mean, they got a freshman All-American second baseman.
100%.
And
they got dudes all over the field.
And A&M's got more losses than wins right now. That's crazy.
Right. That's right. That's nuts.
Good luck to you, Coach, this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.